You're listening to the 1223 podcast with Bernard Pollard and Cary Williams.
Brother.
My man, that gets me every time. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Just hanging in there, hanging out, man. Glad to be a part of the show today, man. Glad to be a part of it, man. It's been a long time.
A long time. Episode number 7. We thank everybody for tuning in with us. We are your hosts, Bernard Pollard and Cary Williams, Super Bowl champions with the Baltimore Ravens, 2012. It's 2012 season, right?
Yep. 2012. Yeah.
Saying that thing, man. And I think that's really the first time I've ever said that. So it came off smooth, but it was still kind of weird. Man, we're going to talk ball. We want to talk ball, and we're going to come at you with ball, life, all this other stuff. But today is ball. And, Cary, I want to jump right into it. Because I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump right into it because I don't know if and let me start off by putting this nugget in there. I'm not saying every former player that played at the National Football League level or even college or whatever it may be, I'm not saying that he can coach, train, and teach. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying when it comes to me, I know that I can. I am finding it hard, Cary. I'm finding it hard when, obviously, my son is in high school. He's a freshman going into a sophomore year. And I'm just with him and then with even other players. I train DBs. That's one of my businesses where I train DBs from grade school all the way to pro level.
Yeah.
And I'm getting so much kickback from coaches. Like when I go to talk to coaches about ball and about all this other stuff, like it's just like, it's almost to the point where they're offended when I talk to them about ball, or they're offended by how I talk to them, or some of the words that I say to them, or if it comes down to, plays and different things like that on the defensive side of the ball, they feel like I'm disrespectful, and I'm just looking like what? I'm not being disrespectful. Like this was my occupation, and
this is your passion.
Right. This is my passion. It's not anger, but when I talk to you, it's almost like they take it and everybody that I talk to almost try to like one up me for some crazy reason, but I just don't do. I need help. I need help because this is going to be like my counseling session. I don't know how to move forward with these cats, with these coaches in high school, even at the middle school level. I don't know how to talk to them. Like everybody takes what I say as disrespect. Please help me understand, how do I approach that? Like, because I'm tired. I'm tired of it, to be honest with you. And the area we live in.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah. I think one, I don't want you to blame yourself because I don't think that has anything to do with you as a person.
Right.
And I think that it's some issues that grown men deal with. It's a lack of maturity from my perspective. And I also think that it's a lack of security within themselves, a self-esteem issue, a self-confidence issue. With us, we're part of the 1%, right?
Right. Less than 1%.
Yeah, less than 1%. Our confidence level had to be tremendous.
Yeah.
You know how many people said, no, you're not going to do it?
Yeah.
You know how many people said, no, that's not possible? But we believed in our hearts, we knew, and we were confident in our abilities to get us to where we needed to go. I think, you being in the NFL, saying the word, or the NFL, National Football League, saying those words is something that, can be daunting to some people. And it's people sometimes, get afraid.
Right.
People don't know how to approach a guy that's been to the zenith of the position. People don't know how to approach a guy that's made it to the Super Bowl and been a Super Bowl champion and played in multiple playoff games and had huge effect on the game of football.
Right.
It's insecurity, man. It's not you. I think I just think that that's what we're dealing with when we speak to guys. And I think too, it doesn't help that our stature, we're bigger than these guys. Usually we're in better shape. And to be honest with you, man, it can be intimidating.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, but like I said, it has nothing to do with you. I think it has everything to do with those individuals and their lack of self-esteem.
Dude, and once again, I don't want to stay on this too long, but for me, it's to the point, bro. And me and you talk about it, and we text and talk about different things because, I mean, quite frankly, obviously outside of the circle that we run in, the teammates that we still talk to and things of that nature, like, I'm just like, dude, like, I don't have, like, I got my dogs here, right? I got my boys that I talk with. I got my, I got my people. But when I got my bros that we all been there, we've done that, and we still are in contact, and I'm just looking like we all go down that same path. And I'm just like, why is it? Because I don't see it necessarily for every player, right? Like like if a quarterback leaves the National Football League and wants a coaching job, he got it. Like, there's no if and like, he goes and he has the head coach position. He's tied into the offense. He's doing this and doing that, and it's just like administration and coaches are listening to him. But it's almost like, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, time out. Like, do you not understand? I was the quarterback of the defense. I got all the adjustments and everything else for our defense personnel.
No doubt.
I did all of that. We did all of that.
And we had to defer to you guys.
Right.
Cornerbacks had to defer to you guys, whether we're going
Right.
to run this specific coverage or not.
Exactly.
Whether it makes sense in this certain specific scenario or not. Like,
bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, I'm just like, why am I fighting tooth and nail with these cats? And I'm just like, dude, like, it's so annoying. And I like, I don't want to say I'm questioning myself, but I'm questioning the approach, because I'm like, okay, like, I'm walking around on eggshells because I don't want to offend you, because I have one specific coach that I talked to, head coach. Me and him had a meeting, and the meeting I thought went well. And every time I was speaking to him, I was like, hey, no disrespect, coach, but this is, we got to tighten up this, and we got to fix this, because there are holes in this. And if we don't, we're going to find ourselves, you don't want to get in shootouts, because if you get in a shootout, like, it puts the defense in a predicament, and you don't want to be there. And like, he comes to me, he's like, hey, you want to be a consultant for our team? I'm like, no, I don't want to be a consultant. I'll be a coach, but we need to change things, right? And I'm like, you've got to check with your other coaches, talk with your other coaches about making that happen. And I'm like, I don't want to get paid. I want to help. Like, I want to help. My son's here. I want to help. And I don't want pay for it, but I just want to see these kids flourish. I want these kids to play with confidence and understand, to trust the coaching. And it's just like, I find out, and then I find out that he took that entire meeting when he was supposed to be getting back to me to talk to me about all this other stuff, which was last season. And I just find out a couple of weeks ago that he took that entire meeting as disrespect. And I'm looking like, I started with no disrespect, and I'm just telling you where the holes are. And I was
gonna say this too, I hate to cut you off.
No, you straight.
I think it's, with coaching is pride.
Right.
You don't want to be wrong.
Right.
Sometimes in the NFL we can see that,
true.
There are times where we should run the ball, but we decide to pass the ball because it's more of a passing league. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying that's just what it is. And I think that, nobody wants to be wrong. And in this situation, sometimes when you say no offense, people automatically taken aback because they feel like they should be on the defense because you're saying no offense.
Right.
And like I said, that's just a lack of maturity and understanding and just development and understanding that, hey, man, this guy is here for us. He's here to maximize these kids' potential. He's here to actually help us be better. Maybe we should sit down and have a conversation with him. Maybe we should try to figure this thing out. Yeah, I've seen that we've had trouble covering every route in the route tree. Maybe he does have something to bring to the table, man. And like I said, it takes humility, and it takes a different level of maturity to really understand that and get that. That's why I say don't beat yourself up. It's usually, it's usually those individuals, and it's not you.
Right. Well, cool, man. Yeah, and I mean, once again, I'm not saying every player, for everybody listening, I'm not saying every player that played in the National Football League can go coach, train, or teach. I'm not saying that at all, but I know for me and my house, I can. And Cary, obviously we
speak with a lot of bravado too, man. We got a lot of energy that we speak with. It's maybe a little bit higher and more higher pitched and deeper tones than what people are normally used to.
Yeah.
And that can be daunting too to some people. But at the end of the day, like I said, you when you're passionate about something,
Oh yeah.
you love the game. You've been doing this for so freaking long, man. And people don't understand that. They think they take it as, oh man, this guy's attacking me. No, it's not an attack,
He
baby. I'm just
yelling
trying
at
to
me.
help. Yeah, like it's not an attack. And
Yeah.
sometimes you can get this just, I'm gonna say this. In my house, my tone can be loud too.
Oh yeah.
And if I gotta talk over the TV, if I gotta talk over multiple people talking, I was growing up, man, everybody had the floor, right? And you had to be a little bit louder so that you get everybody's attention. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you got to be mindful of that tone. I know I have to.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean that's real. And for everybody that's listening, we as players, I mean, we had to yell at each other on a football field. We had 60, 70, 80,000 plus people yelling, and so we had to get adjustments and all this other stuff out, and we had to be heard, right? And
So
me,
loud that we couldn't even
right,
hear each other
yeah,
4 feet from each other or
yeah,
2 feet from each other. It was
that's
crazy. I
real.
had to read lips.
Hey, and that's real, and that's what it is. So for if any of you coaches come by this and watch this, hear this, you don't need to one up me. I just want these kids to have a successful high school, college, pro career. I'm not trying to outdo you. I don't want to outdo you. I just want the success.
He
for
wants
the
to
kid.
work with you guys.
Yeah, I just want to work with you. You don't gotta, you like
Not against you.
pump your brakes.
With you.
Pump your brakes, brother. These dogs, I be shaking their hands. They want to shake my hands on top. I'm like, sucker, I will squeeze the piss out of your knuckles. Like for real. But man, so look, moving forward, hey, I just had to get that session. So everybody, you were a part of my session. Cary was our therapist. And I think we got some stuff. We got some stuff solved right there. So I'm feeling a little bit better. All right. So as we move to NFL, and look, this is episode 7. We have not talked about this since before the draft, right? So here we are. We at the draft. Cary, you have to tell me your team that had the best draft, the team that you thought best draft. Whether it's, I mean, obviously it got to be selections and they bettered their football team. Who was it?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh, okay. I'm
gonna go with Seattle. They did a tremendous job getting Witherspoon out of Illinois as the first round draft pick. Big time cornerback, man, plays big time football. Great ball ability, skills, ball skills, come up and tackle. Not afraid of the moment. Really good competitor, man. It's not going to be any easy completions out there in Seattle when you match him up with Woolen, right? And they already have a shored up secondary as is. You add that guy to the table, man. I think they're going to be phenomenal out there. They also went and got Jackson Smith in Jigba from Ohio State, wide receiver, who's, in my opinion, I thought was the best wide receiver in the draft, despite him not being able to play much this last season. But the years before, man, he put up some crazy numbers. Man, I remember seeing him against, I believe it was Utah in the Rose Bowl. Right. Oh my goodness, man, went absolutely nuts. And, just was able to do any and everything he wanted to do, man. And they went and got another guy, I believe it was a DN from Auburn. Played pretty well. They also went and got some quality depth. Yeah. Went and got some quality depth at the running back position from the guy, Zach, what is his name? Carbonet in UCLA.
Yep.
So I think they did a pretty good job in their first 4 rounds, getting quality talent, quality depth. That's going to add a few pieces offensively to those guys within Jigba. Man, you got Lockett already out there, man. You got the big guy out there, man. I'm slipping DK Metcalf, man, who's already the beast.
Yeah.
And you match him up with Lockett and Jig. Yes, inconsistent. But I think a little bit of that pressure comes off when you got in Jigba out there as well. Him and Lockett going at it. That's gonna be able to catch the ball on those short and intermediate routes. Get open, run pretty crisp routes themselves, and got great hands, in my opinion. And I think, like I said, I think Seattle did a tremendous job a tremendous job this offseason, bettering their team in the draft.
I definitely I like what you said. I do like the selection with Witherspoon. Putting him opposite of Woolen. Woolen was phenomenal.
Outstanding.
After week 1, I was just like, yo, this dude. And I remember going to Twitter. This dude is going to be nice. And he is a big body cornerback that can freaking play football. His
point
football
balls,
IQ,
man.
oh my gosh. He better be at a high point. He almost 6'3", 6'4". So I like what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. I like what they did, like you said, with the receiver. It gives them, which in today's football, you need 3 dudes. You've got to have 3 dudes. And I think with them picking a kid out of Ohio State, this makes more sense because you get him for the next 4 years. You got DK finishing off his contract that he just signed a couple seasons ago. And you got a bigger body that you just that you pulled out of from Jackson, out of Ohio State. You got a bigger body, and you got Lockett, obviously, who's been successful despite his height, his size in the National Football League. He has been a contributor. He's been consistent. But I like what the Seattle Seahawks did. I do. Yeah. I really like what they did.
I appreciate you.
But for me,
but
okay. And we're going to stay on. We're going to stay on the NFC side. I thought the team that. So the reason I'm picking this team because I think it was an immediate. They're taking some pressure off of their quarterback. I think they're taking pressure off the quarterback. Immediate pressure. It gives them an opportunity to obviously run the ball more, put the ball in. You got a 3-headed monster. My wife always get on me. Monster, however you say it, monster. You got a 3-headed monster. You have a number 1 wide receiver. You have a number 1 tight end. I have got to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I like what they did in this draft. I really do. I'm just if we go with they made sure, and I'm saying we, like I'm with them, right? But you attack the running back position with Robinson outside coming out of Texas. You pair him with Aguilar, and you pair him with Patterson. That is a 3-headed monster. You have 3 dudes that can run in between the tackles. You have 2 dudes that can stretch that thing, and I think Aguilar can stretch it into zone if they want to do some zone blocking things, which Arthur has been known to do at times.
Yeah.
You got 3 dudes that can do zone blocking, right, and stretch it. You have 2 dudes that create. If you want to go with star back, and when I say star back, that means to put 2 running backs in the backfield that can potentially have. If you're in base defense. Now you have matchup problems, and you have got to either put that linebacker on the running back when he motions, or you have got to convert that safety and bring him down. But I still think both these guys, Patterson and Robinson, they are a mismatch when it comes to that star back.
Okay.
They have the opportunity to do that. You have opportunity to motion these guys out the backfield, and even Patterson is an athlete that is a big body that can line up as slot, that can line up at X or Z, and he can line up in the backfield. And he
don't put a linebacker out there,
and you bet not put a linebacker out there. And so and obviously we know Patterson can play special teams. He can. He's a great returner. So I thought this was immediate taking pressure off of Ritter right now. And obviously we didn't even say anything about Kyle Pitts or Drake London. This is, I really like what this offense is doing. You attack getting an offensive tackle out of Syracuse. I like what they did in the draft. They attacked offensively as far as the tackle, the running back position, defensively, edge, cornerback. They did a really, really good job. I'm expecting to see Atlanta, that's in the division that, who the freak?
Yeah,
I think what's going on. You don't know what's going on in that division. And so I'm going to put them probably right now second in the division to the New Orleans Saints, simply because Derek Carr. I like Derek Carr. I am a fan of Derek Carr's. I think he's a really good quarterback. I think what they're doing in New Orleans is some good stuff, but I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are far behind, and I don't know if Derek Carr is that much of. I don't think he is that big of a name or that big of a talent that can take it and just run away. You know what I mean? I think every team in this division is still going to be tight, but I think the Atlanta Falcons did a really freaking good job, and I laid it all out there. What do you got to say?
Hey, I think Atlanta looks pretty good. I would give them, either second or third, simply because I believe Tampa Bay still has some pieces that are there. Obviously, I think New Orleans is the better team out of all four of those teams.
Yeah.
They have a veteran leader in Derek Carr, who could distribute the ball and do it at a high level. I think the Atlanta Falcons will be more physical because they have those three running backs. And I think that's the part of the game that you have to, when you have a young quarterback, you really have to attack the defense, and he have to be very, very physical up front, man.
Yeah.
And you have to set the tone with that running game.
Yep.
And I think if you could run the ball effectively, then that opens up all the passing lanes.
Yeah.
And the quarterback will have an easier job seeing the field and getting the ball out to those guys.
Working off play action.
Yes. Working off play action. So I think Atlanta is a great pick for you, man.
Okay. Hey, man, I appreciate that one. I thank you for that. I may like that a little bit better than Seattle. But
okay, that's fine. I'm not tripping. Hey, Seattle's already a playoff team. You know what I mean? Atlanta out there on the outside looking in. So, I mean, Seattle made themselves a little bit better. So, at the end of the day, I think Seattle may have edged that one out just a little bit. Just a little bit.
You didn't have to call them. You didn't have to like do me like that.
Man, they not a playoff team, man. They not
Atlanta,
a playoff team.
But Atlanta can be a playoff
team. They
team.
did get better, though. You did say a team that got better, that bettered themselves in the draft. Yeah, they got better.
All right, I'm with it. All right. So as we transition, we got something right now, and everybody in analysts, I mean, people talking on all kind of sports shows, everybody want to talk about it, and we always talk about it. But for us, we played the game. We never really, we just went to work. But I guess we gotta play this game that everybody else playing now because we're retired.
Let's play it.
All right, so you got one AFC and one NFC team that is serious about right now. They ain't played the game yet. No preseason, no regular season. The schedule's released. We don't get all crazy caught up into that like everybody else. Yeah. But you got one team in the AFC, one team in the NFC that you think is serious about postseason and Super Bowl aspirations. Right now, you got one team in AFC, one team in NFC. Who you picking? AFC first.
AFC first. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
NFC.
Dang, that's a tough one. I like Seattle. Okay. I like Seattle, and I also like the Dallas Cowboys and what they've been doing. I just feel like Dallas has not been able to get over that hump. For some reason, they can't win at home, man.
So who you picking?
Oh man, I'm gonna just go with Seattle, man.
Okay,
that's my mystery pick right there. That's a pick right there that I don't know how successful they're gonna be this year. But I do know they have some quality pieces. Yeah. They got the quarterback position shored up. They got the defense shored up as well. Yeah. But it's everything changed from year to year in the National Football League, man. It's any given Sunday out there. You don't know how, things could turn out. But I think Seattle has a great chance, a great opportunity. And I don't want to speak on the Cowboys because every year they're when you look at their roster, man, they are jam-packed with talent. They have unbelievable talent out there. They got up and down the roster, man. It's incredible. But for some reason, they have not been able to get over the hump. For some reason, they have not been able to see the NFC Championship game. And that's unfortunate. And that's why I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I think they have a better opportunity. I think maybe to some degree they have a better coaching staff and a better coach at the helm that can get that job done.
Ooh, I was with you until you
Until I said the coaching
You know what?
situation.
No, I take that back. I take that back. Forgive me. I need a 30. My bad. That's my fault. I spoke too soon. I like, now I didn't pick this team. I do like the Bengals.
Okay.
I will say, and I mean, and we played against the Bengals, and I think now more than ever, the Cincinnati Bengals, and of course the success that they've had, here in the past couple years with after drafting Burrow. I mean, this team is serious. I think we all can agree. We've played the Cincinnati Bengals, and I mean, we've talked about this before. Everybody in the AFC North, they beat each other up.
Yeah, man. Best division in football.
I agree 100%. Best division in football. When I look at the Cincinnati Bengals, I'm seeing a team coached by Coach Taylor. And I mean, he has put together a freaking roster.
That roster is legit too. Yeah.
They are legit. I mean, Burrow is playing really good football. He's confident. He's making all the throws, and he's doing it under duress. I mean, he's doing it with protection. He has a really good receiving core. He has a running back room that's been really successful. But I mean, he has done it. I like me personally. Everybody talk about the kid out of Alabama that went 3 overall, if I'm not mistaken. Went 3 overall.
The DN.
The DN out of Alabama went to the Houston Texans. I'm saying right now, I believe Myles Murphy is the best defensive end.
About Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson. Thank you. Thank you. I believe Myles Murphy out of Clemson is the best DN in this draft. And he was taken at 28. I thought that was a steal. I mean, they did a really good job. DJ Turner, Jordan Battle. I mean, you got a Boilermaker, Charlie Jones at receiver. They got Chase Brown. They went, man. I like him out of Illinois in round 5. I mean, they did some really, 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 really good stuff. I like the Bengals. I mean, obviously we talked about Seattle. Seattle, I think, is a team that is going to continue to compete. I'm not so much sold on Geno Smith. I'm just not. I'm not there. I thought he had a really good year at the beginning, and I just thought it kind of tapered off. And I just think that's the type of player he is. I don't know if he can be that type of quarterback that can just be, can be a Burrow or can be a Mahomes, or that can be. And I'm not necessarily saying he has to be them, but can he keep that consistency from week 1 all the way to week, So
I agree with that.
That's where I'm saying, and that's
but
why
when you look at the landscape of that division, I would say he has the upper hand.
Oh, agree. I mean, I don't like the quarterback
Once you get in the postseason, then he needs to take it up another notch. No question about it.
And I don't know if he can do that. And for me too, I hit on a little bit earlier. DK Metcalf is a kid that I think is extremely talented. All the physical traits that you will want in a
intangibles is amazing.
It's out of this. I mean, it's off the charts, right?
Yeah.
But I think the drop balls, the concentration, I just think that is humongous with him, and that just. I find it hard. They paid him. I find it hard for me as I watch him. I'm just looking like, this dude is a beast, but he's in his own head. And
I think a lot of that came from some distractions in the off season.
Maybe
did he not run that 100 that last off season? He ran 100 or something like that, and it broke a record or something like that. Now he's doing basketball and all this other stuff. I think if he keeps his head on right and focus on football. Focus on the sport that got him paid, and really, really lock in. I think they have something special there. And like I said, I think Geno has to take it up another level in the playoffs, and he has to be. He has to be that guy.
Yeah,
he just got paid, well deserved, and he needs to be that guy. And I think he has the opportunity to do that, especially in that division, the way the division is going. Especially at other quarterback positions out there, you don't know what you got in Sam Darnold, how he's going to respond out there. You don't know what's going on in Arizona, his inconsistency out there. So, I mean, And then you have the Rams too. The Rams that, are
Bro,
on a rebuilding year. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's I think that division is primed for the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh,
And I think
I
they
agree.
do a tremendous job this year if everybody can stay focused and concentrate on the game of football.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now I'm going to go. My team in the
Okay.
AFC. I'm
Okay.
going. I have to. I got to go with the Chiefs. I got to go with the Chiefs, and I got to go. And as much as this hurts me, because I didn't think. I think I told you I did not think that the Philadelphia Eagles. I just didn't think it. But then when I'm watching what they're doing, the trades that they're making, the Philadelphia Eagles, I got to go with Philly. I got to go with Philly. And let me tell you this.
The Philadelphia Georgia Bulldogs.
Hey, you call them what you want to call them.
Hey,
Call
they
them what
getting
you.
them
Hey,
picks, man.
them jokers they're making the best with every decision. Their selections in the draft,
Yeah.
I thought was, look,
Phenomenal, man.
phenomenal. I
Phenomenal.
mean, they're doing what they need to do. They're getting guys off of championship teams that's coming in with that pedigree.
The pedigree, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're coming in with the pedigree, and they're saying we're going to
know how to
fill you
win.
in. They know how to win. They're young. When you
Hungry.
look at exactly when you look at this Philadelphia team and what the front office is doing, and I'll talk about the Chiefs here in a minute. But when you look at what the Philadelphia Eagles is doing, I mean, I didn't think so when I watched them last year, I'm like, okay, I'm sitting, I'm like, okay, how is Howie building this team? Like, he's getting some draft picks, right? Like he's building with his capital, right? But then he's also implementing free agent guys, and he's implementing them well. You lose a offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, and you stayed in house to replace those guys to fill the positions. But then I'm like, dude, like, how is this going to work? Like, he sees the guys that he potentially that's leaving. His guys are getting older in Philly, and he's replacing them well.
Yeah.
And as the season go on, we're never going to be 100% after camp starts. You're going to be working on a limited tank, and it's all about how you take care of your body. And I thought he did a phenomenal job, especially with that defensive line. As the season went on, he was just making transaction after transaction, bringing guy in and making sure we have depth. We got to have depth to stop the run. We want to make it easier for our back end, keeping our linebackers clean, but we want to make it easier for our back end to get after the quarterback. We want to make sure our offense, and I mean, they did a phenomenal job paying Hurts. I well deserved. I think he's a freaking top quarterback. This guy, he played well. So when I look at what Hurts is doing, Brown, Smith, all of these cats, you go in, you make the trade with the Lions to get Swift. And I'm like, they can't. How are you getting
rebuilding,
better?
Man? Just reloading.
Yes,
reloading. Not
they're
rebuilding. Reloading. Yeah.
And bro, like this is. I like it. I've got to say, with the moves that he's making in the draft and free agency with trades, he's saying, I want to get back there.
Yeah.
How can we want to be Super Bowl contenders, and we don't want to just talk about it. We want to be about it. And when you get when you have a front office that's about making transactions, about talking and keeping that roster up to date and up to par with the talent that you have, you are going to be hard to deal with. People ain't going to they're not going to play them. And we talked about Dallas and everything else. I think Philly is doing Philly is doing what they need to do to make sure they stay relevant.
No doubt.
When you're talking about late November, December, and January football, Philly is doing. They want to make sure they stay in Philly. They don't want to be traveling all around. Make everything come through Philly.
I like that.
And
I just hope that this year that with the depth that they're adding to the D line, if they play the Chiefs, happen to be in the Super Bowl, they can get just one sack.
Yeah,
give me one.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened last year, man. They were the sack kings all through the regular season, man. And then we got to the Super Bowl, and it was like the whole D-line said, "Nah, we ain't showing up."
Well, look, let me say this. So as I put my lip chap on, I have to go talk about the Chiefs now. I mean, Cary, we've talked about this plenty of times.
Yeah.
Andy Reid is the best offensive mind in football. So when you're playing a team like the Philadelphia Eagles, he is not going to let you sit there and just rip off and tear Mahomes up. He's just not, that's just not going to happen. You're dealing with the best mind. And when we talk about the Chiefs, I think when we look at Kansas City, once again, best mind in football. I think when I look at this, and I'm rambling a little bit right now, but when I talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, when I talk about the AFC West, Sean Payton threatens. I'm gonna say it right now. He is going to threaten Andy Reid. I'm just saying it right now. With the roster they got in Denver, with the pieces they have there, with the mind that Coach Coach Payton has, he's going to threaten the Kansas City Chiefs. You have two crazy smart offensive minds. I'm not putting McDaniels in there. He is not a crazy offensive mind. I'm not saying it. I refuse to. But
nobody's even talking about the Raiders, man.
Hey, so I'm just not going to. I like what the Chargers are doing, but when you look at two specific coaches in that division, they are two of the smartest minds in football. And we know Coach Payton can get it done. We know he can assemble a roster. We know he know how to call plays, and we know he know how to assemble a playbook to make sure his playmakers are in the best position.
Now, it won't be easy for the Chiefs this year.
It won't. I don't think it's going to be easy. So I just had I had to drop that nugget in there. But when we go back to the Kansas City Chiefs when we go back to Kansas City Chiefs about them being ready, about them being a team that's serious. Look, 2 Super Bowls. Coach Reid is still there. Spags is still on the defensive side of the ball. One of the best in-game adjusters in football right now. I don't care if it's AFC or NFC. I think he is the best in-game adjuster. Whatever you see from the Kansas City Chiefs in the first half, you will not see from them in the second half. I think he's the smartest coach out there. I think they can put pieces, obviously, on the offensive side of the ball. They know how to put pieces together. They know how to make, they're going to do everything they can with Mahomes. They make their guys look good, and they're doing a phenomenal job with it. They are getting, Kelsey is getting up there in age. He's still producing. I don't think he's producing at the volume that we've seen him, but, his production as far as touchdown, but as far as yards, it's dropped off. I think I will say that. But he is still doing some really good things. Mahomes is still by far the best quarterback in the National Football League.
I feel like that, he's that security blanket.
He is. I agree.
Kelsey, man, whenever Mahomes is under duress, man, he finds a way to get to Kelsey, and Kelsey finds a way to find a hole in the defense, man. Yeah. Have you ever watched the tape on Kelsey routes?
Dude, I have. And bro, it's freaking really good.
Bro,
really good.
He finds holes in defense, man. And I'm gonna be honest with you, to some degree, I'm trying to figure out what type of routes are these. It's not the normal orthodox, digs and overs, and it's just some stuff, man, that I just haven't seen. And I know it's tough for defenders out there to really figure out what he's doing. But he does a phenomenal job at route running, does a phenomenal job at catching the ball. And then the run after the catch ability, man, he's one of the best in the league.
Dude, I don't know why my video acting a fool right now. But yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. Kelsey has done some phenomenal things. He is still producing. And the kid is.
He might not have had the yards, but he's the guy that's a legitimate threat. He is what helps that offense to take off and to go. He is that piece. He is that energizer. So I think that Kansas City, as long as they have Mahomes, they're always going to be a Super Bowl contender. As long as they have Andy Reid, they're always going to be a Super Bowl contender. as long as they have Spags as the defensive coordinator, they're going to be legit. And it's teams around that's going to be taking notes. They understand that, hey, this is the team that's going to be there. They're building their dynasty. They're doing a tremendous job. And it's just hard to really see any other team outside of that division,
right,
or inside that division, that or anywhere in the AFC that can really compete with them guys, and really shut them down. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be hard, man. It's definitely gonna be hard. But hey, dude, that's our talk. We've talked our talk, and man, episode 7 was what it is. So we thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate everybody. We can't wait to see y'all next week. Take it easy. Sir. Peace.
Peace.